Hey, it's your girl, Dr. Harris, live here at Black I Am Radio. We have had technical difficulties today. Facebook shut my page down because there was some very powerful energy and words coming from this part of the woods. And see, the thing is that a lot of times when we start speaking about us, people do not want, they said that they closed me down at that time because somebody was trying to hack my account, which I wouldn't doubt that because somebody's always trying to hack my account. They were trying to hack my YouTube account too, but we are going to get this right. We are definitely going to get this right. So what we're going to do, because YouTube does not, is not as censored as Facebook, we are going to make sure that we are doing YouTube lives through our profile that we have here at Black I Am Radio starting next week. But until then, we did not want to waste a perfect and amazing and powerful show. So we're going to dig right into our guest in just a second. Let me just reiterate a few things. I am Dr. Angela Harris, the founder of the Rebirth of the Black Nation. What is the Rebirth of the Black Nation? It is an accountability, responsibility, and action for Black people, beautiful living ancestors controlling kingdoms of all nationalities and religions and ways of life to come together, putting down those three separating factors and picking up the spiritual point of us coming together and how powerful it is. We are powerful individuals. We have operated powerless for some time because of us adopting the society's tactics and the mentality of society to make us think that if we come together, that there's wrong with that. But in all reality, everything is right with us coming together as a people. The one factor that we always want to make sure of is that we understand the truth, that in order for things to change, we can't just go straight to community, because the community is made up of you, and then the community is also made up of your family. So we have to first focus on personal and self-development. We have to dig on the inside, pull out all of those things that have hindered us from moving forward in our individual walks and callings and purposes and missions. And we have to heal from all of the things of the past, things that you've done to yourself, as well as things that have been done to that others done to you. And then we also have to understand that we have to be in tune with the one that wakes us up every single day. Now, we don't focus on religion because what I believe in my heart is my belief system. And I tell people all the time is what I know about me and what I know to be true within me. But all of our truth is different. But one thing in our truth that's the same is that we are melanated people. And all over this world, we are the majority, because no matter where you go, you will see our people. You will see melanated people. So that lets us know that we are connected in some way or another. And that alone is enough for us to work toward bringing us together in unity, not focusing on the things that have separated us in society, but focusing on the things that's going to give us eternal life, not only after the fact, but right here on earth. We have to live in eternity right now, because right now is the only time that we have to make choices. Once we're no longer here, we don't have a choice to make anymore. The choice is now. And I choose to walk in the purpose and the mission that I was given, and that is to bring my people together. When I say my people, I mean Black people, beautiful living ancestors controlling kingdoms. And because of that, I want you to hear our song that is our theme song, and it is called My People. It is by Sir Gandhi, and we did this song back in 2015, and it's still powerful today. It is very powerful today. Why? Because the same thing that was going on in 2015 is the same thing that's going on now. But absolutely, I do see the progression of us moving forward and actually manifesting the things that we've been speaking for so long. See, the way that we done things were out of order. We could not finish doing what we needed to do because we focused strictly on community, which is the centerpiece. But in order for things to be complete, you have to have a table for the centerpiece to sit into. Our table is self-love, self-development, and then the rebirth of Black families. We have to rebirth our families. We have to get to the point that all of the things that have been caused within our family settings, that they are no longer the thing that keeps our families apart, because we have to realize a lot of them are practices that were fed to us and we adopted them out of ignorance. And the thing that I understand when it comes to the Creator, the things that you don't know, that's not what you're held accountable for. But the things that you do know, you're strictly held accountable for it. So now, if you didn't know that it was important for us as a people to come together, you know that now. So we're holding you accountable for it. So it is the self-love. It is our family rebirthing, which automatically changes our communities, which then we can set up our Black businesses in our communities because it's ours. And then, and only then, will our financial freedom be promoted. And not only be promoted, then will our financial freedom be more broad than it is narrow, meaning that we won't have a story that there's only 53,000 millionaires in the United States out of Black millionaires in the United States out of 750 million. That makes no sense. So when we look at those things, we have to understand that there is no longer an excuse. We have the resources. The resources is us. We created all this stuff. We sold a lot of it out of ignorance. But now we are becoming, our mindset is becoming rebirthed. Our heart set is becoming rebirthed. Our spirituality is becoming rebirthed. And everything that we need, it leads into our wealth. Our wealth spiritually, mentally, intellectually, emotionally, and physically. As long as we keep our mission to unify within ourselves, all 5 of those areas will definitely be our ending source, our ending situation, to make sure that we are roundly grounded and that we are deeply rooted into the things that matter the most. And that is wealth. Wealth is not just money. People have to understand that. Wealth, in order for you to really be wealthy with money, you have to first be wealthy in all the other areas that I named. So we are going to go into physical wealth. There's different types of physical wealth. We have the physical wealth of money, but then we also have our bodies, we have our minds, and we have our spirits and our souls. Those are all part of our physical wealth. But I want you to go ahead and hear the mission, the message of Sir Gandhi, my people. And then after that, we will definitely bring our guests who have been waiting patiently to the forefront so that we can hear from the millenniums what they have acquired over the years. One thing that I learned is that we cannot allow for people to despise us of our youth. When we allow for people to despise us of our youth, then we miss a whole entire message that has to be given by only them. So here we are, my people, my people.
My people. Like, I just want to help them. They're going through so much. And it hurts to see them suffer. It hurts. But all I can do is pray. On my knees I pray, heartache weeping, cause I know my people plight is on the very deep end. From disease, drugs, or the homeless needing. From prostitution to the jail cells overpacked with black men. To the younger generation disrespecting their elders. To us being too much of consumers and not developers. to us being puppet slaves in white America. No more loving our heritage. We lost our African character to the debt we pay to our bill collectors. No sense of community. We fight this like and kill each other. The black man and woman are divided like we hate each other. No more educating ourselves. We just stop at the college professors. I hate to say it, but we lost our sight in who we are. We let the devil taint us a conscious mind with all of this poison. Now we floating down the river, lost in this hopeless void. If nobody else won't speak and tell the truth, then I'm gonna make some noise. I pray for they saving. Father, the devil's a lie, so bastard, taste my sword.
Our people, our people, our people, our people are lost and need me to lead the way. Our people, our people, our people, our people are struggling and dying each day. Our people, our people, our people, our people need help in every way. Our people, our people, our people, our people, I love them so much that
you can bring a horse to the well, but you can't get that horse to drink. I just want my people to listen and let the music help them think. Is it on me to lead the way? My Lord, am I even worthy? Cause I ain't been the same I should be, and my life's still kinda dirty, but I'm feeling it and I'm hearing it, and my spirit tell me to move. Cause I'm tired of seeing my people suffer, it's giving me the blues. So I'm going to sacrifice myself and give them all that I got. Cause when you really love somebody, that's what it's really all about. So I'm gonna pour myself away till it ain't no more for me to pour out. Don't be deceived by the deception. You are royalty in and out, and the truth and the proof is in Africa, our motherland. We built the pyramids, made mathematics and medicine. That melanin that's deep in your skin core is gold, my friend. So gain that true knowledge yourself. You a God within. Don't let them Europeans try to convert you into they devilish seed. Look for the hidden colors and go and find out your history. Peace.
Our people, our people, our people, our people are lost and need me to lead the way. Our people, our people, our people, our people are struggling and dying each day. Our people, our people, our people, our people need help in every way. Our people, our people, our people, our people, I love them so much that I pray.
Now that is a very powerful, powerful, powerful song. I hope that you heard the words to that song. This is basically our condition. However, what I will say is that I see that changing, and I want you to hold on because the change is coming. We are definitely, definitely, definitely on the right path of transitioning that song into we used to be homeless. We used to be misled. We used to be, but now because we have been rebirthed, our mindset, our actions, our responsibility, and our accountability has taken plight. Guess what? We are on our way to everything that we've ever imagined for our people. And with that being said, we have some very special guests in the room that we will definitely hear from. And I am excited. Actually, I was on a Zoom call last week. And one of the people that invited me to this Zoom call to be recognized and to speak and let them know who we are and what we're about and all of that here at Black People United and the Rebirth of the Black Nation. And I received a phone call, and it was an amazing phone call. And that's what brings my guest in today. That we had so much relation and everything was so relative to, what we stand for and what we do. And then just listening to the queen of this clan that, and when I say a clan, that means that they have children, they work together, they are powerful. But when I listened to her, I would have never imagined that she was the age that she is, and it makes my heart happy. And it makes me so excited to know that our millennium, some of them are not just lost by internet stuff. Some of them are not easily misled into the things that has been raiding the mind of our millenniums these days. A lot of our millenniums are all over the place because they're seeking and they're searching. They know that there's something that they're supposed to go after, but they have not tapped into themselves enough to know what that something is. However, just talking to her and happy to meet her king today, I realized that they understand. And so I'm going to give them the mic and I'm going to let you know, let them let you know who they are and then also what they understand.
Peace and blessings. I just want to give thanks to Dr. Harris for allowing my wife and I here. My name is AKER, and we're the owners of Whole Body Wellness and Fitness LLC. We're just grateful to be here, man. It's very powerful. The alignment, I can feel it. The 222 alignment is real. So it's really about that time. It's time to leave from manhood and walk into the godhood. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm here to talk about today. And I just want to pay homage also to the late, great Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying? Today was the day that he transitioned, and, you know, he was definitely a mentor for me. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to give him something right now. It's called I'm Running. And so it goes like this. Get your mind up. Get your grind up. Can't be walking around this bitch broken blind, bruh. It's a war out here, so niggas line up and bang your set until your time's up. Nipsey, pass the baton, this is a marathon. What y'all thought it was over? Nah, we just begun. Children of the sun, it's y'all time now. They said we crabs in the barrel, it's time we climb out before we sign out. So if you with it, niggas sign up and get signed out. This path ain't easy, but together we can find out what it take to help us elevate. What it take to keep us unified so that nothing can never separate. We got to educate, get our children in the STEM and watch them levitate. Ain't you the captain of your soul, the master of your fate? Well, get the fuck up off your ass and help me liberate. I'm running. I'm gonna run. I'm running this marathon. I'm running. I'm gonna run. I'm running this marathon. So yeah, that's just a piece to my tribute to Nipsey. I apologize for the profanity of it. You know, if it hurt anybody, I'm just being me. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully the message was felt. But yeah, I don't want to go too far yet. I want to definitely introduce my beautiful queen, Infinite. You know, we've been through a lot, man, and she definitely is. She's my backbone. You know, she is what helped me stand up straight. You know, because you know, from where I'm from, the woman is considered wisdom, and the man is considered the knowledge. So what is knowledge without wisdom? You know what I'm saying? She teach me what to expand my knowledge, who to give my knowledge to, who not to give it to. So without further ado, I want to introduce my beautiful, lovely wife, Infinite.
Greetings, peace and blessings, everybody. Once again, I just want to pay homage and give thanks to really just this moment, being present at this time and soaking up what is and what is to become, and really the ability to just be. And so I'm just grateful to be here and grateful to be of service. And I'm just grateful for the divine connection and alignments. And I will be studious to it. So much gratitude. Greetings, everyone.
Wow. So there is a lot. I mean, I definitely heard the message. Shouts out to Nipsey Hussle, also one of the people that I paid a lot of attention to before he even transitioned. Nipsey was saying some really amazing things, and he was doing some amazing things as well. And as you know, our greats, they have definitely paved the mark. So Nipsey, although you're gone, you're definitely not forgotten. Peace and blessings to you and your family. And we just want to thank you for, you know, the way that you've paved for some of our millenniums to see you and want to do better, even better than what you have done. So we just want to give shouts out to Nipsey Hussle. Yay. We also want to dig into more of this united couple. Now, I heard you ask a question. I mean, I said, I heard you make a statement. You stated, AKER, is that correct?
That's correct.
AKER, that where you're from. Elaborate on that a little bit more.
Well, where I'm from, pretty much, I'm talking from a spiritual sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I've been in pretty much every spiritual organization that you can think of. I got a short life, but I've been walking so many different paths, just trying to find myself, looking for God without fear.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in a Christian church. You know what I'm saying? In that church, they basically teach you don't stick your neck out. The devil gonna cut your head off. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't stop there because I knew Christianity was only a stepping stone for me to levitate towards the next level of spirituality. And so I stuck my head out. I jumped into African spirituality. I jumped into Islam. You know what I'm saying? I ended up stopping right at what we call Wunuwapu. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. That's where I ended up stopping. But they gave the actual leader of that clan 135 years of prison for what he built. You know what I'm saying? They framed him wrongfully. And his information has become so profound. So within the Wunuwapu, it isn't just one sector. So you can be a Nuwaubian Christian, you can be a Nuwaubian Moor, you can be a Nuwaubian Muslim. So Nuwaupu is pretty much it's a culture and mean many Nubian. You know what I'm saying? Many Black people. So that's where I'm from. We're learning things like what I learned from the master teacher. Also, he taught me to lift up the self by the self and don't let the self weaken. For the self is the self's only friend, and the self is the self's only foe. You know what I'm saying? So powerful quotes like that has allowed me to become what and who I am today. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's pretty much that's where I'm from. That's where I come from, and just reaching out and reaching strong, stretching for the Most High, and stretching for my people to unite.
Absolutely, absolutely. And again, within the rebirth of the Black nation, you'll have many faiths, you'll have many beliefs and all of these things. But one thing that we all understand that there's only one. And that's what keeps us connected without putting religion as a forefront of what it is that we need in order to come to the halt of separation when it comes to our people. And so that's so exciting. And, for me, I'm a studier too. I've studied several different religions, and I've studied also the religious tactics that go along with these religions. And that's why, myself, my belief system does not have to be penetrated into anyone's ears, because as long as we understand who we are, whose we are, then our collaboration is not going to be hindered. It's only going to be more powerful because there's different points of views that all come up to one holistic view. And that's what we understand. And that's what my brother just talked about. He talked about our people uniting. And that's so very important. And so we want to hear from his wife and hear some of her, what she has to say. Some of her wisdom and some of the things that he spoke about her and who she is and has been to him. Tell us who you are, Infinite.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I say that I'm just a vessel. Excuse me. I'm just a vessel. And I've learned through my process of trauma, of loss, of grief, of going through different schools or religions, that I needed to find me. Absolutely. And understand what that is, who I am. But ultimately, the connection with the source. What does that mean? Why am I here? Asking all those questions gave me space and time to grow and find those answers. And also understanding that the obstacle is definitely the way. And so one of the main things that really helped me grow on my journey was food, diet and nutrition. When I start going through different things, the healer has to heal themselves. So those things that I just named were because of I had to heal myself from many things, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, my heart space. And also I learned by massage. I used my hands. I had to learn what my gifts were through my trauma and telling my body what to do, telling it to stop, telling it to release certain things, including my mind and my brain, which are two different things. The mind is the psyche, the etymology of that word is soul. Mm-hmm. And the brain functions differently, but they work hand in hand. And that's connected to the heart space or the heart chakra. So when I learned these things, I learned that I had to release my old ways of thinking to become renewed. And also I had to learn really how to go to the depths of myself and be okay with that and realize how ugly it was, whether it was learned behavior or habits that I was taught and told to do, because the power of habits, atomic habits, is very real. And you can build on them, but it can destroy. And so just learning things like the lungs hold grief, or sadness, and the shoulders hold grief, and massaging that out of people and cancer patients, and feeling and knowing what that is real time changed my perspective. And it also allowed me to see that I'm in control of what I see, when I see it, and what it means to me. And it gave me the ability to tap into my warrior energy and make sure that I'm out here handling business on behalf of myself first, because you can't pour from an empty cup. I almost lost my mind doing that because I am a healer, but also my people, and also those that love me just in general. And that's it.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, well, our talk today is about holistic healing, and you heard her start speaking about different sorts of healing. You hear me always talk about the inner person, the self-development, all of the things that we need in order to build us individually so that we can come back collaboratively and be the powerful forces that we're all designed to be. And so with that being said, you said that you do massages. One thing that I've learned over time is that you have to really monitor a person's energy before you let them lay their hands on you in any kind of way. Myself and I never really looked at myself as a healer, but I guess throughout my life, that's something that has definitely transpired through the gifts that I've been given, to the point that when I used to be in the church and I used to, and I was in ministry for 9 years, one of the things that they always had me doing, and I never realized how powerful it was, but it was laying hands on people. And then one day I said, I cannot lay hands on someone if I'm not right within. I got a lot of things within me that I'm still dealing with, that I'm still healing from, and that I still have to, and that I still have to make sure that because of, just dealing with people and dealing with the things that's so valuable. You have to understand that when you're putting your hands on people, you're touching their soul, because there's a transfer of energy from hands to another person's body, or hands for another person's energy. So how do you, how can I say this? How do you, Infinite, make sure that you're in alignment when you're actually going to put your hands on people?
To make sure I'm in alignment, for one, I go back to food. Food is, if you really get down to the science of it, the colors. That's light. What is light? Light is information. So making sure that I'm constantly filling myself with things that feed my soul, or make sure that my body releases. When you go back to things like your detox teas and herbal blends that help your body release, because the muscles hold memory as well. And for women, or men as well, the heart space holds a lot of brain cells. And a lot of us don't realize that. And your spirit resides there. Why? The spirit resides in the blood. It is the governor of your body. So that's one thing. Then we have memory and brain cells in our intestines, and then for women, in our womb. So making sure that we're constantly cleansing those places, going out into nature and releasing. I'm a tree hugger. People think it's funny, but ultimately our lungs and literally our nervous system looks like the branches and the roots. So when you think about the creator and how intricately designed everything is, but also harmonious, we are that. So I go out to the river, I go out to release. I also, like I said, I have to fill my own cup. I have to write, I have to read. I have to also ultimately realize when I'm lacking things in certain places to make sure I'm in balance. So those are some of the things as far as detoxing, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and also making sure my food is also always transferring positive energy to me and charging myself up with the right information that is ultimately connected to the source. So I can hear what I need, discern, intuition, clairvoyance, to be able to see and know that I can't touch everybody. Here, okay, massage that person. You can't massage that person, because I'm not meant for everybody. I came here for a certain group, and it's very divine. And so all that comes with clarity and cleansing and alignment. So those are some of the things. And also we've been to South America, and we learned different things about different plants. So different plants that help your body stay in alignment. And so that's some of how I make sure that I'm in a good place before I touch anyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's amazing because it's just very, very important. And that lets me know because, you know, some people do things for money. Some people do it because it's a gift. And that's what they're supposed to do in order to contribute back to this earth realm of our healing for our people. And so that is very, very important. Did you hear what she said? She gets herself into alignment. And I had to tell somebody that just a few weeks ago because they were laying their hands on everyone that came through the door, but their energy was totally off. And because of me being a healer and me understanding the importance of me being right before I go and try to, you know, transfer something to someone else, I really appreciate that teaching that you just gave us, because a lot of people need to understand just what you just said and how important it is. Now, AKER, I'm going to go to you and I'm going to ask you a few questions. As the man of your household, what is some of the protocol that you use to make sure that your wife is protected while she's out doing these things that the Creator chose her to do?
That's a good question. What I mainly do is I make sure the atmosphere at home is set up properly, you know, whether that be plants, you know, what do you call them? Himalayan salt rocks, you know, energy bath with the crystals in it. You know what I'm saying? And just making sure my energy all the way around is at a place where I could come and absorb the energy that she could have picked up from the world or some of the people she had been doing massage with. So just giving her, you know, encouraging words. I might even sing to her because, you know, the power of music and vibration. You know, I could pretty much disarm any type of negative energy that's on the body. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure our food, because I'm the chef. I make sure sure our food is exactly what our body needs as far as nourishing our mental, or spiritual, and physical. Because like I said, everything is energy. You know what I'm saying? Everything is energy. So I make sure everything I give her is positive energy. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't always good, but I do my best.
Absolutely. You know, so let me ask you this. Can you elaborate on that food? Because we're talking about holistic healing, y'all. And in order for our people to heal, we have to heal in different ways. We have to heal mentally. We have to heal spiritually. We have to heal intellectually. We have to heal emotionally. And we have to heal physically. What are some of the recommendations that you have for food? What is your food intake? Because we have not discussed that yet. Are you vegan? Are you pescatarian? I mean, do you just eat herbs? Do you eat grass from the field? What is it that you use as your way of living when it comes to food?
Okay, so we're vegan. We've been vegan for some years now.
Okay.
I'm actually working my way out of because you got vegan and then you got plant-based. You know, those are two different things. And then you got fruitarians. You know what I'm saying? People that just only eat fruit. You know what I'm saying? And
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. That's basically what I'm en route to right now. I'm in a transitioning phase from vegan to plant-based. I'm going through the plant-based phase right now and on into the fruitarian diet. You know what I'm saying? And what that consists of is fruit, because the fruit hold more phytonutrients than pretty much everything. And a lot of people think they got to go get proteins and stuff of that nature, but they're not knowing that proteins is the very thing that's making us sick. You know what I'm saying? We need more amino acids. You know what I'm saying? As melanated beings, you can look at some of the largest animals. None of them eat proteins. You know what I'm saying? The elephant is giant. He eats plants all day. The strongest animals.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people be like, oh man, where you gonna get your protein from? We melanated, we don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Protein isn't for us. Why when you go to the doctor, they be like, you got protein in your urine. That's a sign. That's a sign of something going wrong. You know what I'm saying? So we got to learn how to eat right. We've been adopting everybody else's diet and lost our way, and this is why we don't think right. You know what I'm saying? So we got to really align, because your gut, and you look at the gut and the brain, they are the same. They be like, when you don't follow that gut feeling, a lot of times you mess up.
Hey. He just said something very, 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 very amazing. And I want to go back to that again, because I want you to repeat that whole segment right there, because a lot of us don't understand. When you talk about the proteins, you talked about protein in your urine, you talked about what made you study these things, and repeat what you just said to me again.
Oh, yeah. So basically, I got into the study, with proteins, because I really wanted to understand my body. I was poisoned in college, you know what I'm saying? And didn't know what was going on, because I was always an activist. You know what I'm saying? I went to Georgia Southern University, and one day I got to my apartment and I ate something. And it was a lasagna, as a matter of fact. I wasn't vegan at the time. And that night, I kind of my body kind of shut down on me. You know what I'm saying? I was sweating real bad, in very, very, very critical pain. You know what I'm saying? So it was final exam week, and I couldn't move. I laid in my apartment with, lights off for probably 8 or 9 days, no food, no nothing. I was just laying there. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I'm getting ready to transition. I calling home, calling my mom, calling all my relatives, like, yo, I don't think I'm about to make it out of this. You know what I'm saying? Then I just happened to close my eyes, as I'm spiritually in tune, and I heard Sebi. You know what I'm saying? I heard something like Sebi. This is 2011. You know what I'm saying? So I started going on YouTube. I just put Sebi in there, and Dr. Sebi popped up. So that's how I know I'm strategically protected. You know what I'm saying? So I started doing my research and started studying a lot of Sebi's information. And he's the one who kind of gave me the ground floor on, the knowledge that I hold now as far as being a holistic healer and protein. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Caucasians and other races and stuff, they push protein because their genetics are different than ours. You know what I'm saying? And nothing is wrong with that. They eat what they eat, and we eat what we eat. Every culture comes with their own diet. You got to remember that. You know what I'm saying? And that's for a reason, because the genetics are completely different. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the same immune system. Some of our ancestors as herbivores are 100 feet.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And when you look at the carnivore ancestors, they're a lot shorter, so they can digest meat a lot faster. You know what I'm saying? So when we eat meat and things like that and proteins, it takes forever for the body to digest it. And this is why cancer and things of that nature is so high in our community right now, because we're consuming a lot of the cancerous cells that's coming from these animals. And these animals are getting killed in trauma. And then we turn around and eat the meat.
Wow.
We're eating the trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
We are eating the trauma, and we wonder why we're in the streets acting like animals, while we shooting each other down. When you change your diet, a clean gut equals a clean mind.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You have to clean your gut in order to think straight. You have to clean your gut in order to have a true spiritual connection with your creator. Or you're going to be blocking out all of the signs, all of the information. My brother Naj was telling me, my brother Najee, we was talking the other day, and he was using football. He was like, imagine you being a receiver, God's the quarterback, and God know right where you're going to be at. But you ran the wrong route. You know what I'm saying? We got to know exactly where we're headed and stay on track and be able to make sure we meet God, so we don't miss those blessings. You know what I'm saying? So God has allowed me to be able to focus in on His voice.
Wow.
And know where to be and where not to be. Even when I felt like I was in the wrong place, I was always in the right place. You know what I'm saying? So I give thanks for all of the trauma that allowed me to wake up, because like you talked about, it's all about a rebirthing phase. You know what I'm saying? I went down into the dark abyss. You know what I'm saying? Because what happened? The darkness in the beginning was darkness, and then it was light. You know what I'm saying?
The lightness always shines through the dark, regardless of how it may be just a little tiny inkling of light. It's still going to be brighter than that darkness that it was in. So it's so amazing that you're so young and you've tapped into this already. And, you're talking about coming together and being a part of the mission and the movement. But I know that I will learn some things, even from you. And that's why it's before we even got started. I said, you don't allow for people to despise your youth. As a matter of fact, there's some things that, they used to say, old dogs can't learn new tricks. the young can teach the old dogs the new tricks. And it's really not a trick, it's really the truth. But we've been tricked so long that we have to reverse the mentality of even the words that we use and turn it into something more powerful than what they meant when they was trying to deceive us. And when I say they, I mean those who have set out to harm us as a whole. And it's so amazing that you have definitely tapped into this arena of self, because in order, and what I can say is this: I'll be detoxing until I get there. That's my way of knowing how to cleanse some of this stuff out of my body, because a lot of the herbs and stuff that you use and that we utilize to build our detox, it also starts taking some of the pus and some of the cravings and all of those things out of your body. So if I've gotten to that point of understanding that, then I do know that I'm on my way. And I also understand that, for some people, until you tap into the reality of what's needed for you, you cannot cold turkey just do certain things, because it can harm you more than help you. So how long did it take for you, King, to transition into this way of life?
That's a good question. Pretty much, I would say how I started is I dropped like beef. I cut beef out and I cut pork out. That's the first. Those were the first two steps that I took, and I went pescatarian for a while. And over time, I started implementing less fish. Maybe I probably took pescatarianism to 3 days a week, and I ate just plant-based in between. And from there, I just went ahead and I started to eliminate the fish, because of the mercury content in the fish. You know what I'm saying? And the metals and how that decalcifies your third eye. You know what I'm saying? So I really started doing some research. I'm a perfectionist, definitely when it comes to my body and trying to make sure I reach a spiritual height. You know what I'm saying? So I really I was focusing on my diet, because I know that was the key.
Wow.
So it took me I'll probably say about four years to actually be exactly where I am now. You know what I'm saying? So it do take discipline. And you made a point as well when you said, while you're on the journey that you're on right now, is the key is to detox. And that's real. You know what I'm saying? Detoxification is the key when you are indulging in a carnivorous diet. You know what I'm saying? It's the key to help push it out, because like I said, the meat take a little minute to digest out of our intestines because of the length of our intestines.
Especially beef. And that it has been that way for some time. And, we just got to want to do better. I'm not saying that everybody has to go fruit-based or, full plant-based. And then I understand even with vegan, there are a lot of vegans that are really not understanding what vegan really is, because they take in a lot of soy products, and soy is not healthy for your body either. We have to also, in the midst of learning holistic healing, knowing your blood type. Knowing your blood type is one of the things that you have to know, because there's certain things that feed your blood type. And even when you start transitioning away from the meat, you need to know what replacements, even if it's plant-based, what replacements to use in order for your blood type to be pure, to be purified.
Gotcha.
And so I want to come back to Infinite. You, as a holistic healer, what was your story? And are you plant-based, or how are you eating, or are you still working on it? Where are you at this time?
I am plant-based, and it took me about a year to transition, and because I wanted to do it cold turkey, and I just did as much as I could. I just loved on myself through the process, and if I felt okay and I could still exercise is key too. To really move your body. When you talk about moving the mucus, you have to move. You have to move the circulatory, the nerve. A lot of people don't realize just something as simple as the cardio and doing squats, even air squats, resets your nervous system. And it helps your brain tell your body what to do. And then something as simple, but yet profound as our hair. Our hair is an extension of our brain, our nervous system. So then I start switching up what I was putting there, because it's like antennas. So when you talk about receiving messages, receiving your hair is key. So when you're putting, chemicals in it or the wrong shampoos, when you look at the base of all these things, most melanated people, melanin is more like selenium, it's alkaline. So when we're putting a lot of acid and things like that, which meat turns into, that's when we have the sickness. That's when we have the disease. That's when we have, the clarity of the mind is compromised. And so it took me about a year, and I just started transitioning slowly and adding more things that fed my body on a cellular level. And that Dr. Sebi helped a lot with that for me. I have to be real. He changed a lot for me, learning how to feed my blood. And like you said, knowing the blood type is key as well. So doing that research as well for myself during that time, I learned that outside of O, everything else is just an antibody.
Wow.
And then I wanted to know, okay, what does that antibody mean for me if I don't have O, since O is the blood type? That is the blood type, period, the original blood type on this planet. Outside of that, it's, okay, antibody came in because of this, or it came in because of that, due to, mixing and different things. So then why is my body constantly fighting certain things, or allergic? People call them allergies. But ultimately, you can reset that as well. And I learned that in this process as well. So that's part of my healing journey.
That is so amazing. And what I've learned is that we're going to be learning from each other. That's what I do know. We're definitely going to be learning from each other. One of the things that I want to bring out, my brother, with all this power that you have, when we use certain verbiage, even in our music and things of that sort, we have to be more conscious of that too, because words are very, very important. And one thing that I've learned over time, you hear me keep calling you king and queen. It's not just because I'm doing what the fad is. It's because I've studied. And Negus, Negus, that means the origination of kings and queens. And so when we say certain things, even in our music, I'm not no nigga, Nigga. Nigga is anybody ignorant. It ain't even black people at all. It's anybody that's ignorant and don't have a clue of what's going on. So when that's used in your music, if that's what it's used for, then that's amazing. But if it's used to identify us, that's something that we definitely have to change too. And then I heard in the commercial for our school, which we're going to be playing at very shortly, our commercial for the Principles of Blackness, Culture, and Wellness Academy. I'm going to have to get on my DJ because he used the word kids. Kids are baby goats. I know that we the greatest of all time and all that kind of stuff, but when we're teaching our children, our language, we have to make sure that we're teaching them the words that are powerful and not the things that diminish us. So I'm going to have to address that. And that's just some of the things that, when you listen, you hear, because we all want to be as strong and as powerful as we're designed to be. But the words and the message of your music was simply amazing. I want to say that. And I want, for us to understand, it's so crazy because I turned on Black I Am Radio the other day. And I heard this song, y'all gonna make me lose my mind, up in here. But it was not the edited version. And I never heard the version of what it was. It was talking about, it was talking about some stuff. And I'm like, whoa. I did not know that. And it was actually playing on our station. And we don't play that. We do all edited music just because we don't want our station to be something that only the adults listen to. We want our children to be able to listen to it too, because their music and the things that they're putting out, we want them to be accustomed to, powerful or positive stuff. All of our music is not negative, even though it's been over time put out there. But I do want to say this. All of the old folks, excuse my French when I say that, or I should say the seasoned folks, the ones that are so holier than thou, those always say, well, the music today is so much different than it was back then. No, it's not. A lot of the things that was in the music back then was very sexual. It was very but it was for that time. So then they didn't even have the courage or the power or the boldness to say some of the things that we say in our music today. However, even with all of that, it all has to transition into a powerful message for our people to find ourselves and to get to where we need to be. However, some of us still have to express ourselves the way that we know how. I tell people all the time, some people are on the bus. Those are the ones that know that there's something that they should be doing, something that's powerful, something, they want to be a part of something, but they don't have what it takes in order to move because they still have not learned how to love themselves. Then we have the ones on the train, the ones that have healed, the ones that are moving, the ones that understand the mission and they're moving and they're willing to grow. Then we have the ones on the plane. That's our leadership. Those are the ones that are responsible for making sure that we give what's necessary to our people in order for them to grow. And then now we have the spaceship. I'm on a spaceship because I'm a leader of leaders. However, in that spaceship, all people on the spaceship have to understand that they also have to have people that they are held accountable to. And so there's levels to everything that we do. As a leader of leaders, I have to make sure that I'm in control. I have to make sure that I am healed. I have to make sure that I love me. And then I have to make sure that I can also send that love to the other leaders so that they understand that they always have somebody to be accountable to. And then my accountability is always going to be the most high. Each and every one of us has an accountability to the one that wakes us up every single day. Whether you want to say it or you don't, whether you want to, deny it and or whatever you want to do, you are not waking yourself up every day. No matter how much you feed yourself good fruits and vegetables and all of those things, the end result of your time here on earth is not in your hands. So what we have to do is we have to look at the spirit person inside of us, develop the relationship with the one that wakes us up according to the way that we're supposed to move individually so that we can come together collaboratively. Because one of the things that we're going to work on in our school, which I'm going to let you hear the commercial for that very shortly, is focusing on the 9 C's of character, which is something that I developed. But the last C, the first C is character. The last C is what? Cash. Because when your confidence, your courage, you hold your composure, you're consistent, all of these C's end up to your gift making room for itself. And when your gift makes room for itself, it is exposed to the masses, and now you're profiting even off of what's naturally yours anyway. Not because that's what your mission is, but because that's how the creator works. When you're in line, when you're in alignment, then blessings come. So I want y'all to really remember that. And when you're in alignment, that's when your true blessings come. And that's why in 2022, I've said over and over and over again, this is the year to release people, places, and things. People, because there's some people that is still connected to you, that not saying that you're writing them off or that you're kicking them out or any of that, but at this point of where you are, they cannot travel with you because they're traveling backwards and you're going forward. We have to understand that there are people, places, and things. Places, because there's some places that you were used to going that you're not going to be able to go anymore because they are not something that has enhanced who you are individually. And then there's some things, like we talking about this food. Y'all really was all in my business of what I need to still work on. And every person, every single day has to really look to learn something new because we don't all know it all. None of us know it all. The things that we know is the things that we're allotted to know. And sometimes as we grow, more is allotted to us to know. But in the midst of it all, we always have to understand that there's someone that can give us some nuggets that's going to help us to grow spiritually, mentally, intellectually, emotionally, and physically. And so Today, our show is about holistic healing, and we have Infinite and AKER here that are millenniums, and I call them millennium because they're my oldest two children's age. And when it comes to just seeing how powerful this is as a couple at a young age, influencing one another to be your best self, helping one another to be your best, not only in the natural, but also in the supernatural. I just want y'all to know how powerful that really is and how I am going to love this connection coming into the platform, because we need to teach our people more about what it takes in order to become whole. So if you could say something, AKER, to not only our millenniums, but to our baby boomers and our elders and the people that have been around, and even to our young people, if you could tell them something that you feel would influence them to become their best self, what would it be?
Okay. First, I would say, you got to know yourself. You got to do whatever it takes to know you, who and what you are. Mm-hmm. So you got to travel that road. You got to be able to just move around, travel, do things that you feel you like, do things that you don't know you like. You know what I'm saying? And just really get to know you. You know what I'm saying? And also, that's a pretty broad question. Also, like I guess, it's something as simple as even with music, food, just basically breaking it down into the atomic atoms, just the small things, that you feel that builds you, and the things that you feel that destroy you. Look at the things that that gives you joy, and look at the things that also cause you pain, and find in between, in order to just stay afloat, or stay balanced. Hopefully that answered the question.
Hey, that was really powerful, because you talked about balance. You said find the things that help you to basically tap into you, and then find the things that have been there to try to distort your growth, and find a balance between them. Why is that important? Because everyone has to understand that life is life, and life happens all the time. Even when it comes to healing, I teach the releasing and destroying of pain. But what I teach the people also is that you have to understand that that is a continuous thing that you have to do. You have to continue to destroy your pain, because life happens. The death of one of our family members, no matter how spiritual and how powerful you are, when it's someone close to you, when they transition, you remember the things that you have encountered with that individual, and it becomes an emotion. And so because of that emotion, sometimes that emotion is very fleshly. And, we drop tears and we miss them, and, not realizing that the only thing that we're ever promised to do is die. I mean, and to stay melanated, if that's who you are, that's a promise, But the only other thing that is promised is one day you will have an expiration date here on earth. And that's why you're here on earth. You have to tap into yourself so that you live forever, not just in the midst of you transitioning, but even in your mindset right now, you have to know that you have to live forever within yourself. You're going to always live. And so, when you have that mentality, the other thing again is words. A lot of people speak doom over themselves. So every day you have to speak positive affirmations over who you are, because the world system and people and places and things are going to always tell you something different. So with that being said, Infinite, I want you to chime in. What would you have to say to the people in order for them to be their whole self and not compromising, moving forward in their being? What would you give them advice to do?
One thing I would say is going back to knowing yourself, and your vehicle of what you came here traveling in is your body. So that goes back to self-worth and value. Mm-hmm. I noticed when I start putting higher value on myself, just something as simple as the detoxing, but also who I allow in my space, who I allow to speak to me, to call me on the regular. You can't dump your energy on me, and you didn't even ask. But I learned that, and I was like, okay, you need to have boundaries. So then I'm showing you the Most High, the universe, whatever you want to call the Supreme, that, okay, this is where I'm at, and I only want that moving forward because you gave me that power to create that.
Let's go back to that energy field real quick, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna pull it all together because I had a situation the other day that was very, very intriguing. Someone tried to make me speak to someone else that in my spirit, it was not for me to speak to them. And so I ended up consulting with one of my, I would say one of my spiritual brothers that understand, putting things back to the earth and giving it back to the creator and not worrying about it afterwards. When he gave me that instruction, I literally took parchment paper and I wrote on the parchment paper, and I actually went and buried the issues back into the earth. And then on one side, I buried the issues. The other side, I buried what I wanted to see out of the result from this. And so the next morning, I got up and, sometimes, I feed my spiritual self by sometimes listening to people that I respect. And TD Jakes is one of those people. Because when I was in ministry, I've ministered on that platform, and he was one of the people that I never had anything to say about that I seen behind the scenes, right? So I still sometimes go and listen to TD Jakes. Because I believe that feeding your spirit with things that are powerful, no matter what source it comes from, that you take out of it what you know is for you, and anything else you just put it to the side. But I was watching TD Jakes, and I got a chime in from Facebook for me to go and watch one of my dear friends he's a prophet, and he's very, very prophetic. When I say that, he speaks or things that he has said, the world has seen it happen, literally. So he just started prophesying to me. And, there was probably like 85 people on the line when he was doing it. And he was saying some very powerful things. But then one thing that he said to me, he said, that person that wants you to speak to this other person, do not. They want to send negative things through the airways, and they're trying to use that portal to get into your ear because it'll go to your brain, and they're trying to do something to shock you with their evilness. He said something to that extent. And I was like, thank you, Lord, because I went and did with Chiwara, shouts out to Chiwara, what he told me to do, as far as, when it comes to anything that comes to as a worry or anything that you know that you don't want to handle yourself and you want the creator to go to. He said, get this parchment paper. And in that parchment paper, you write down everything that you see that you in your spirit is saying that it's not right. And then you come over here and you put what you want for this other individual to get through the spirit realm. You see what I'm saying? You go dig holes in the earth, like in your yard, and you bury that parchment paper, and then you put your hands on it. Soon as I got up that morning, turned on TD Jakes, stopped it right there, live prophecy, and it was my answer. And I was like, whoa, okay. And I'm a very spiritually in tune person. I mean, since birth, I've always had the gift. I didn't understand it. I do understand it now, and I use it accordingly. However, there is still times when things are going on with people that are close to you, and you really, really, you can't put it in your hands no more. It's for you to release it. And so when he told me to release it back to the earth, I was like, whoa, okay. My angels, they surrounded me, but he telling me, no, you put your hands on that. You put and return it to the earth. Mm-hmm. And when he said that, I was like, okay. My spirit led me to go do what he said do. And that was my answer first thing in the morning, to let me know that the plot was to try to get their voice into my ear, to deceive. And so, of course, the person that, wanted me to speak to, but they got upset about it. But, the creator told me, don't worry about them being upset about it. Just know that something is being done about it. And so there's different things that we have to, encounter. And so I want to come back to you, Infinite. And I want you to just tell me an experience that you encountered spiritually that was so powerful to you that whenever you go through things, because we all go through things in the flesh, what brings you back to snapping into it? What brings you back? I know it's something, because I look at you and I know that there's a tool that you use, because see, we need to know these tools in order to help our people. And everybody's plight is different, but the end result is the same.
Absolutely. One of the major tools I use, and it's subconscious, meaning I don't plan it out, I don't write it down. I subconsciously, my higher self, always hear clearly when to fast.
Wow.
And when I say fast, it's not always just food. It's people, places, and things.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
And doing so and being obedient to how long, I don't always hear exact number. I'll just feel. I know when the shift has happened, something has released or been moved out of my way that's not supposed to be there any longer. And also, I can feel my genetics change. My gifts heighten. I can hear clearly. So when you talk about the spiritual gifts are the fruits of the spirit, as people say, telepathy, clairvoyance, psychometry, being able to touch and see. So when I need to really tap in and protect myself also, I go into nature, which is another thing, like I said, where I've done the parchment paper as well. So we're very clear on that, and that's powerful. But what I'll also go do is take my body and go dig a hole, and I'll stand in that hole with myself and allow, because you have the highest amount of meridians you have in your body are in your hands and in your feet when you talk about healing, receiving or releasing. So putting your feet in soil with fresh moving water near the water like a tree pulls so much off you and raises your vibration to the point where if somebody even thought the wrong thing your way, when you talk about the laws of reciprocity and the laws of karma, whatever you want to deem it, as far as protection, those people should be very wary of even coming at you with the wrong thought, because you have elevated yourself to the point of tapping into the ethers or the connection that you have directly with the Most High. Where at that point, when they're messing with you, they're trying to play with God, and that's not how that goes, especially when you know who you are.
Wow. Yeah, you just said some stuff there. Oh, yeah.
Another thing as well is detoxing the liver and making sure you eat for each of your organ systems, because your heart is key.
How do you do that? How do you eat for each of your organ systems?
When I go back to when I was saying earlier, phytonutrients, light nutrients, that's information, period. Colors, eating colors. When you go back to the chakra systems, you activate your meridians. And then there's something called Qigong, which I practice all the time, especially because I touch people and I have that gift to do so. Can't operate out of fear, but I do see and feel things with my hands, and I have to release. But also when healing myself, Qigong is a practice of knowing how to move your Qi and activate that healing energy inside your body. So the point of going into nature, like I mentioned before, is also you want to be out there when the sun is out, or the earliest point of the day. Reason being, melanin is AKA chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll? Oh my goodness.
So because we are walking, living plants, right? That's a beautiful gift. Information once again. You put yourself in the soil near water, and then you have the sun. When you mix those two colors together, you get green. That is the ultimate healing energy.
Wow.
On the planet.
So let me just tell you this. I always tell people I got to get you, but you just confirmed something to me. It's time for me to go somewhere and literally put my feet in the sand and the water, because of the heights that the Creator is taking me at this place. See, every portion of your growth has necessities. And some of the necessities remain the same. And what you're speaking of right now, by putting your feet in the soil and the water is where I have gotten all of my clarity. It's come to me, like if I'm confused, and I don't get confused too often, but if I feel that there's some confusion going on with inside of me, because see, sometimes confusion can go on with inside of you when you're growing, because you're still trying to get to the place of knowing, right? And so I learned to go and put my feet in the sand and the water, and then just go out and, like you said, just allow for the sunlight to really speak to your spirit. And a lot of people used to think I was crazy, and I used to the point that I started thinking I was crazy. But knowing that there are millenniums that have this understanding, and there's still some older people that don't have that understanding, it lets me know that that's why one of the reasons why it was said, do not allow people to despise you of your youth, because in the last and final days, the youth are going to be more in tune as long as they're obedient. There is a scripture that is in all of the books, the Torah, the Bible, the Quran, and it says obedience is better than sacrifice. And what I've learned is one of our issues as a people is that we have sacrificed so much that we don't know how to be obedient. Because our sacrificial offerings have become our way of life because we don't understand anything different. And it's so crazy because our sacrificial offerings, sometimes we give what people don't deserve. And that's us. Sometimes we can give too much of our time, too much of our energy, too much of our love, and too much of our money to those who don't even deserve it. And that's why we have to get to the place of understanding the energy component. And I think my daughters, actually my youngest daughter, and LaQuasia, and my daughter, Jemiah, I thank them both because they started a journey of the vegan and wanting to be healthy and all of that. And I didn't understand at that time that I knew that I had hands of healing, because I can remember laying my hands on somebody with deaf ears that never heard, and God giving me the words to say to them, and she started speaking normally and hearing. I can remember laying my hands on a woman that they said she had full-blown AIDS and that she was not going to live. And the next time she went to the doctor, after the Creator gave me the words to speak to her, which it healed herself because of the words that she repeated that the Creator was giving me, but she no longer had AIDS. And that's when I was in ministry and right out of prison, answering my call to the ministry, not understanding that I was actually going to start walking into my purpose. When I preached all over the world for 9 years, I went everywhere. I ain't gonna say all over the world, but I'm gonna say all over the United States for 9 years. And then when I heard God told me to come from among the incarceration, He never told me to come from among what you know in your heart about me. You have to go for what you know in your heart about the Creator, because as your personal relationship develops, then you start getting a holistic view of what the Creator is to you. And I tell people the reason that a lot of our children and a lot of our millenniums and even our quote unquote older generation, seasoned generation, are messed up because they believe they don't know. You have to get from a point of knowing what you know and not just believing, because a person's belief system can be shaken. I've seen it over the last few years with some of the people that are very close to me. They're going from left to right, anywhere they can try to find. They're trying to find out who they are, but they're being led into all of the wrong directions. Until you come to an understanding of who you really are, you continue to try to seek. But it said, seek and you shall find, but it also says knock and the doors will be open. Yes. When you knock, the first three words of knock is the first three letters of knock is KNO. No. You have to know what you know right here in order to become your most powerful self. And then you don't have to debate with people. All you have to do is what? Let your light shine. So I want to thank y'all today for bringing y'all's light into this room. It confirmed a lot of things. And then I've learned a lot of things as well. And so I want you to, at this point, as a couple, speak to our younger generation, because one of the things that I'm big on is family, rebirthing our families. At this young of an age, you have a whole entire family. You work together, you do things together. I can see it, just by looking at you, the unity. If you could speak to not only our younger generation, but I want to say our younger generation, what would it be that you would say to them about learning themselves in order to accept their mate?
Beautiful. Okay, so what I would say first thing, from a woman's or feminine perspective, let me say it like that. I would say it's best to make sure you go within, and going back to something as simple as detoxing your womb and eating for peace. You literally have to eat for, your liver holds anger. Your kidneys hold sadness and fear. So if you think about those things and you eat for those things specifically, or your energy centers or chakras, so that eating a lot of greens, you're going to have peace. That meadow that they talk about, the quiet streams, it's all about that color green. It's healing and it's peaceful. If you know that you carrying trauma, carrying anger, you go within and work on those things and release those things and eat for those things. Tell your body what to do. Know that you have that power, or else you're going to translate that, especially from a feminine perspective, because we have a womb, which is an inner universe. You're going to translate that over to your partner, and then you're going to wonder why he's acting out certain things that weren't there before, or that you summoned up, because we have that ability. We create life. And so, and in what way that matters. So when you talk about also creating families, if your womb is toxic, what do you think your child is going to be?
Wow.
So when we talk about, really expressing and tapping into the divine feminine, it's a beautiful journey, but it takes work. And it's an honor you came here as with that feminine energy for a reason, because it's a level of responsibility as well.
Absolutely.
And so if I don't keep myself aligned and in a good place, I can't love him either, or my children. And that's the reality of it. Some people say, I love my children no matter what, all the time. You're lying. If you're not healthy, no, you don't. And you're not enjoying it either. And I'm not telling you nothing I haven't lived. I had to heal myself from a lot of different things at a lot of different times and moments and places and spaces. So making sure that I hold myself accountable is key.
Girl, you sound like me right now. I'm telling you, like, it's so amazing to hear you speak like that. It's like giving me the shivers, because I speak the same language when it talks about, our womb. I had to tell one of my children, I said, listen, regardless of how far you think that you're going to go, you have to realize what womb you came out of. And my womb is a blessed womb. God told me that a long time ago. So therefore, no matter what your journey is, the end result is that your journey is going to be exactly what the Creator created for you. And so, but in what I've learned with our children is that we have to allow them to go on their journeys.
Yes.
Because their journeys may be different than ours, but the end result is still going to be the same. The promises of the Creator will come to pass. So anyway, let's go to you.
Okay.
AKER, how about you?
Could you run that question by me one more time? I don't remember.
Just as the family, as a man, now because she came from the feminine side of it. As the man, what would you say I would just say to our Black families of how to unify within yourself in order for you to be ready for your mate. That's pretty much what I said.
So from a male or masculine perspective, it takes a lot of self-work. It takes, all of the insecurities, all of the fears, all of the doubts, everything that you feel that's hindering you to be brought out to the forefront, and dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? That's what we call weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? Bringing all your weaknesses out so that you know what strength means. You know what strength is. A lot of times as men, we get trapped in our weaknesses and we think that pain is where strength lies. You know what I'm saying? And usually that pain ends up showing up in a relationship, and then it'll be the cause of your relationship becoming chaotic. So we actually got to go within and be able to reverse the things that they call manly, because we've been taught wrong about what's manly. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, all right, we hard. You know what I'm saying? Things that are hard breaks. A glass hit the ground, it's gonna shatter. So we gotta learn how to soften ourselves. We gotta be more like water. You know what I'm saying? Because water can turn into a gas, it can turn into a solid, and it can stay a liquid. You know what I'm saying? So it's many different forms you have to stay in. And water also always go back to the source. You know what I'm saying? It's always connected. as a man, as a black man, as far as, choosing a mate, I feel like you really got to know you and to know what you need and to know what you don't need. You know what I'm saying? Because most men, I would think, they look for peace in a mate. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, that's why a lot of relationships kind of go south, is because, a man might have a woman, she may be beautiful, and she be like, dang, I know I look good. You know what I'm saying? Why he scared on me? You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't giving him no, he looking for peace. You know what I'm saying? Your face is cool, but he need a peace of mind, definitely coming from the world that we come from. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I got from mine, and it was just a spiritual connection. It was funny that I ended up writing a song. You know what I'm saying? Before I met her, I wrote a song. You know what I'm saying? And I met her. We met at Dr. Lala Africa's. Dr. Lala Africa. You know what that is? Well, he was a holistic practitioner. You know what I'm saying? And he the one who actually put me on when you talk about building a school. He was like, you don't see a polar bear sending their children to a black bear to be taught, or you don't see a donkey sending their children to a deer to be taught. So why do we send our children to a whole other race of people and expect them to have knowledge of self and be successful in this world?
Wow.
So that's why I met her at. I felt the car pull up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, there's some energy in this car. I ain't even see her face yet. You know what I'm saying? I just felt something. I was like, man, I don't know what it is. So I waited, and the elder that I came with went on into the building, and I waited and I watched her come out, and I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? From that point, people be like, love at first sight. That's a myth. It ain't. Not when you was connected in the ethers, when you connected before this world. You know what I'm saying? Then you get into twin flames and stuff. Because, some people just get into relationships, there's earthly relationships, earthly connections. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't get a chance in this lifetime to actually reconnect with a soul that they was connected with before time.
That is so crazy that you say that, because I wrote a song, and it's called Baby I'm in Love with You, right? But it says, sitting back thinking of the first time we met, this is not a day that I'll ever forget. Something deep down inside it took over me. It opened my eyes to make me see that love is not a word that you take lightly, not just a feeling or emotion, is more than that you see. It makes my stomach turn every time we disagree. That's how I know it's you for me and me for you, baby. Baby, I'm in love with you. There is no one who's made me feel like you. Baby, I'm in love with you. The second part, it says, when I am with you, is so original, not like a feeling that I've ever experienced before. It makes me feel like I'm a little bitty girl living in a fantasy world. Oh, yeah. Baby, I need you to know how I feel. The love that I have inside. Oh, it's so real. Amazing, unconditional. Not many people will ever know how this feels. And so when you said that, that just struck at that whole song. Like, I wrote that song probably like 9 years ago. Wow. And it's a beautiful song. And when you feel like that about somebody, it's so amazing. Man, and so I want to say kudos to you, because I know, but see, in any relationship, I know that there's always challenges. But when you speak of the things that are more powerful than the challenge, then that's when you really can overcome any challenge that comes in front of you, because there's a difference in all of us. None of us are the same, but we do have the ability to collaborate our love and really be the strength that we need to be for one another. And then not only that, that actually influences other people. And see, when I was in church, and I came up with this conference called the Divine Order of Family. And I'm going to ask y'all to be a part of this, because when it happened, oh God, it was so dramatic for me, because I had a sold out conference, and God told me in the middle of it that I had to cancel the conference. And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, at this time I had got kicked out of my church because, I took a message to my pastor and he didn't want to receive it. And there was a prophecy about, the things that was going on in our church and all of that stuff. And he told me that you're released from my church, you and your children, without my blessings. And I was so devastated. And I had this conference, and he was supposed to be the pastor of pastors and all of this stuff. And some of these pastors that today people see that they're no longer here. I'm not going to mention their name on the air, but y'all probably know who I'm talking about. They were supposed to be a part of this conference, and God told me to cancel. He said, because I would not allow you to be exposed in a way that's going to harm you, because their hearts are not right. And so I got kicked out of my church at that same time. And I'm like, whoa, like, is this really how it is? And the enemy was trying to do everything that he could to distort my gift and to make me believe that I was in the wrong. And so, God sent me to help build up another church at that time. And then a year and a half later, God told me I had to go back to the church that I left. And I'm fighting with like, no, you got me messed up. I ain't going, I'm like, because I talk to God just like I'm talking to you, like for real. Like, I tell God all the time, you are the original gangster, the only one to give life, and then you can kill people and take their life and you never be charged for it.
That's real.
Like, I mean, that's what I say. And, you know everything. I don't. I only know what you give me. You understand what I'm saying? You are the most intelligent. You're omniscient. I'm not. I'm just what you give me. I'm a piece of the puzzle that you have in this place called Earth that's going to make a difference. So anyway, I was so hurt because not only did I get kicked out of my church, then I had to cancel the conference. Then God told me that it's time for you to move to Atlanta. I'm like, you must be out sure what move where? Like, come on, God, now. I don't know nobody in Atlanta and all of this stuff. And he said, I need you to pack all your stuff up and I need you to go. So at the time, because I was a ghostwriter and I thought that, because I've, helped some people to become multimillionaires through my writings, I thought, okay, well, you're sending me to Atlanta to meet with Tyler Perry and all these other people so that, now I can produce the films instead of just writing them and all that. God said, absolutely not. That is not what I sent you there for. I needed you to get out of your comfort zone. Why am I saying this? A lot of us get in a comfort zone, and it's a comfort zone of what our life has brought us. And the reason that we're so messed up is because we got comfortable in our mess. We got comfortable in the things that kept us from being powerful. I got comfortable with being raped and molested to the point that I no longer fought after a while. I just laid there. It's just like The Color Purple, Mr. on top of me doing his business. And there were several misters at a young age. They seemed like I was a target. Everywhere I went, these men that had issues were targeting me. But that could have destroyed me. And that's why I thought I was 10 people in my mind at one time until I had to learn who I really was. And that's who I am today. But it took for me to go through these things. And then not only that, ending up in prison and I'm there with all these women and I'm scarred and I'm messed up. But the Creator is telling me you might have missed your behavior, but your purpose will never change. I had to sit you here so that you can heal from being homicidal, because you can't kill people because I sent you to save people. And so I'm going through all of these things in my mind to only develop who I am. And even when my children's father was big time drug dealers and, all of this stuff, we had the record label and all this stuff seemed to go good. Everything just crashed at that time, because when you are chosen, you are allotted to go through many things because you have to be relative to other people and their issues and their problems and the things that they don't know, because there was a time that you did not know. And that's why I said, even though we are releasing this year, people, places, and things, we're not writing them off. We're not writing them off because remember, any seed that you planted eventually is going to get watered. It may not be you that's going to water the seed, but you planted the seed. And the seed that's planted is a seed that can grow. The water only influences the seed to grow. Because what? It's in great soil. When the roots are planted and they start growing wide and they start growing long, and then they start getting tall. See, they don't sprout out until the development has come. And so this has been a development session here on Dr. Harris Live. It's developing us to understand more and more and more how we have been programmed to do things, even to our eating habits, even to us depending on the doctors and depending on people and depending on stuff and all of these things that really don't even matter. When the main thing that you have to depend on first is you, learning you, because you cannot be in tune with the creator until you become in tune with self. And so this message today for holistic living is to make sure that as a people, as we are developing, as we are rebirthing our Black nation, that we are also understanding that there's a lot of things that we have to tear apart in order for us to start walking in. Walking in what? Our divine purpose, our divine destiny. Everyone is a piece to the puzzle. And when you don't have the puzzle and the puzzle is not completed, then the puzzle is not holistic. So with that, I want to end with you and your wife. And I want to ask you this particular question, because one other thing that you said that's so important to me. You said a glass can be shattered. But one thing that I want to say to the world, if you are that glass that has been shattered, know that anything that's broken can be put back together if it's not destroyed. If your life and you're still living today, then you're not destroyed. And this is an opportunity for all of the things that shattered you to be pulled back together to a holistic view of living. So I would like you two to end with some powerful affirmations coming from both of you for our people, but then also just to say what it is that you feel this whole entire show is saying to the world.
Got you. Love. This show, Black I Am Radio, consists of love. When I look around and when I look at what you put together, I look at the words you speak, I look at the passion behind what you're saying, and the foundation is love. And so the affirmations that I would have for would be love, love, love. Love, 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 love. We need more love. Love, love, love. More love, less hate, more building, less breaking, more giving, less taking. So sick and tired of this fakeness. Everybody is claiming to be real, but with time get revealed, because energy never lies. Even when you come in disguise, I feel you. When I look deep down in your eyes, I can see your soul paralyzed from that hate that you hide, that got you sick inside. Let love be your guide and free your soul before your body dies. What's love? Love is sacrifice. I sacrifice my time, my life. I take the chance to roll the dice to turn your heart to warm from ice. You know what I'm saying? That's the affirmation. That's what I give, and hopefully that was felt. You know what I'm saying? And I will pass it over to my lovely wife, Infinite.
Thank you. That was awesome.
It was.
So I would say, it's to be honest, it took me feel like we went on a journey, a beautiful one of shedding, releasing, giving insight, honing in on things that really need to be illuminated in our community, and be illuminated in a way of with no hate, no pointing the finger, but it's, like you said, relatable. Like, hey, we've gone through this too. This is something in our community that needs to be filtered. We need to filter some things. We need to release some things, and we need to keep some things. Or this is the reason why we act the way we act, as a community, as a whole. Because even though I'm on my journey, it doesn't matter if collectively we are not.
Absolutely.
As a whole. So just that unity and bringing it back to, ultimately, I say self-acceptance and awareness. Acceptance is a key to forgiving yourself, releasing things, accepting and being in flow is key. So that's something that I got in this process, and just sitting here and having this experience with everyone in the room is that acceptance of what your journey is and what comes with it, and know that you can color it however you like, because ultimately it's a divine plan behind your purpose when you realize it.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you both so much. And you're a poet too? Oh, we have Soulful Thursdays here, and we're starting to back up on on April 21st. It is going to be the launch of my book, for us revealing our authors for the Epiphany of Loving Myself. Soulful Thursdays, we have open mic, comedy, and also open mic, comedy, and spoken word. Gotcha. And so I would love for you to come out on one Thursday evening and bless. As a matter of fact, on the 21st, when we open up, if you're not occupied, if you could come out that day and be a part of our program, I would love that. And then we have a lot of different things that we offer here at Black I Am Radio, BPU Global Network. And one of them is our clothing line, our apparel, Black I Am apparel. We have jerseys, we have t-shirts, we have jackets. We have, the Letterman jackets, but Black I Am. And Black I Am, again, it stands for Beautiful Living Ancestors Controlling Kingdoms. You hear what I said? Living ancestors. Beautiful living ancestors. We are beautiful every day that we wake up and look at ourselves in the mirror. We have to farm love from the inside out, love us from the inside out. We are living every day we get another chance to breathe. We are ancestors because someone is always going to come after us, and it's designed for us to control the kingdoms around us. And I Am is irreplaceable, amazing melanin. That's what we are. We're irreplaceable. No matter where you go in this world, you're going to see melanated people. You see me? Yeah. I'm proud of my melanation. I don't know, and I don't even know if that's a word, but I just made it up. Melanation. I'm proud of that. And then, irreplaceable, amazing. You have to know how amazing that you are. You have to know that you are needed in this mission called unity. And melanin, the melanin in our skin, no matter where you go around this world, you can go to China, Japan, Europe, Africa, to South America, North America, wherever you want to go, you're always going to find melanated people. And so because of that, we are the majority. No matter what you said in your society, the truth is that we are the majority. And it's up to us to make sure that our majority rules this world and bring this world back to what it's really supposed to be. The time is up for us not being unified. The time is up for all of your separating factors of keeping us separated. Religion, nationalities, ways of life. That's not our concern. Where you were born, what you believe, as long as we can agree that there is one that wake you up every day. And then not only that, we have to understand that a lot of us were dealt our decks of cards without our consent. A lot of us have went through a lot of things in life without our consent. A lot of us were birthed into hazards without our consent. So how can we hold you accountable for your way of life when you don't know no better? How can we hold you accountable for what you've been taught to believe until you tap into yourself? You have to tap into your anointing to get your appointing, for you to understand what's really going on inside. How can we hold you accountable for where you was born? It was all a part of the puzzle. And now, because you know that you are a piece of the puzzle, you are being held accountable. Remember, the Most High does not hold us accountable for the things that we don't know. He holds us accountable for the things that we do know. And when somebody tell you, guess what? Now you know. You might not want to know, but you know. So you have to listen to what it is that you know. You want to say something, girl? Go on and say. Go on and say.
You sparked something. So when you broke down the acronym and the ancestors, when people speak about generational curses, you are your ancestors. When I talk about the spirit being in the blood, and that's why you go to certain churches and they do the representation of the blood and what it means, how powerful blood is. Period. It's charged electrically with a lot of things, and the spiritual and the physical. So when you understand the science behind that and understand that the ancestors live in the blood, you are your grandmother's blood. You are your mother's blood. So then when you talk about breaking generational curses, the trauma that happened to her,
destroying them,
they gotta go.
We have to destroy them.
That comes with discipline in the body. Even addicted to certain foods or certain, you say opioid, whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? Going back to the diet and things like that. That's how important that is. And that breaks generational curse. Because you hear break it, but it's like how? And then when you learn the science of how we were created and how it all works, and then you go back down to how do I know me? How do I get to know me more and learn me? Well, you break down when you hear about the story of Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha, when they always talk about their birth date and how the stars were aligned and a portal was open when you came.
Yes,
the womb is a portal you transfer through, but how the stars were aligned that day matters. The time, was it morning, was it night? So when you break down your natal chart of how things were aligned when you got here, when you talk about knowing self, that is a spiritual fingerprint that you need to tap into too when you want to break down and literally do the math behind and knowing to apply the facts. And then you can appropriate that and change your life. So when you talk about, you can say, you got to go within all day. What does that mean when we don't know? Like you just said, you sparked that within me, because a lot of people could be asking, okay, what does that mean though? Well, breaking down things like the natal chart and the time and place of when you got here and what that means and what your grandmother dealt with and your mother. What kind of addictions, what kind of food do they eat? And you know what to stay away from or what you're predisposed to when you talk about health and wellness and how to course correct that so your children don't have that problem where you change your genetics because you can reset them. You can reset your genetics where you're no longer predisposed to an issue or an addiction. And that is how intelligent our body is. The Creator made us. So that is just something that I wanted to share. And I wanted to help people understand more of how to do so. So understanding, the longitude and latitude, when you talk about natal charts, people are probably asking, what does that mean? Well, for me, I was born on the West Coast, the Bay Area. So that time, that latitude and that longitude and that time frame, that's all math and science. And when you get down to how we function and how we work, ultimately it's all numbers. So when you talk about this year, 2022, the alignment of numbers, you see 88s, you see 33s, 444s. All that means a lot. So you didn't get here at a specific time for just no reason. You tap into the calculations of what that means, and you come up with your master plan, AKA blueprint, AKA fingerprint, AKA unique you. And that avatar that they talk about tapping into and becoming. And the spiritual and the physical, and you learn that, like Jeremiah, he was caught between two worlds. Well, we are that. We can travel back and forth all the time when you align yourself correctly. So when people say, how do I see ahead? How do I tap into my gifts? Well, it takes that, but it takes disciplining the body because of habits, the body is so intelligent that it'll take control over the mind, and it's telling the mind what to do when that's not how we were created. You have to tell the body to sit down, reset it, and then you let the mind be back in control of the vehicle. And then you're open for the divine connection, like your experiences you said that you heard when you had to stop your convention in the middle of it, even though it was sold out. That's how much in alignment you were and how powerful your genetics are, even without you being at the place of, let's say you weren't on a full fast at that time, but your genetics were some people were not all created equally.
Absolutely.
So that gets us back to pieces of the puzzle, like you said, and knowing that we need each other literally to survive. You have what I don't have, so I shouldn't hate you anyway. I need you. My children need your help. So I need you to be your best. What can I do to be of service? And I have something you don't, so let me add to that puzzle or fit like a Lego. So thank you. I appreciate it.
That is so, so amazing. And it's so, oh, wow. I mean, you just said so much. And I wanted to end with the definition that I was given of the Rebirth of the Black Nation and the acronym. Literally, when the Creator gave me the Rebirth of the Black Nation, it happened for me in 5 minutes. And there was one witness that was there at that time. Her name is, they call her Yolo Lon. And it was so amazing because she's like, God gave me something like that. And, all of this stuff. And, and I was like, well, that's good that we're in alignment. And so what I'm trying to do right now is first of all, we're going to go ahead. We're going to play our commercial for the school, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to end this with the rebirth of the Black nation. So please, please, please just be a little bit more patient. We are almost finished with this show, but it's so powerful, the things that's being said, that I cannot allow for it not to end with what God gave me to say to our people.
We proudly introduce to you a new way of learning. The Principles of Blackness Cultural and Wellness Academy. The Principles of Blackness Cultural and Wellness Academy. It's brand new. It's our fundraising luncheon, and we cordially invite you. It happens April 23rd, 2022 at 12 noon at the BPU Epic Center, located at 691 Highway 138 in Riverdale, Georgia. The Principles of Blackness Cultural and Wellness Academy. The Principles of Blackness Cultural and Wellness Academy. Our mission: every child deserves to have the chance to have a good education, including our very own. And we want to be a vital part of helping provide just that. We ultimately want to become a part of all of the great changes of this world, but we need your help. We need your donations and or sponsorships to provide children worldwide with a good education and also provide vocational training. We aim to do our part in destroying the vicious cycles of poverty and ignorance that dwell deeply in our community. We want to provide our kids with the tools to build a great future. Your participation, your donations, your sponsorship can help. What will the Principles of Blackness Cultural and Wellness Academy provide? Our non-traditional curriculum includes aquaponics, herbal therapy, the 9 C's of character, and the principles of Kwanzaa, and much, much more. The guest speakers and founders: Dr. Angela Harris and Coach Siku Obadias, your founder and co-founder. Your tickets for this phenomenal groundbreaking event can be found at Eventbrite at principlesofblackness.eventbrite.com. Principlesofblackness.eventbrite.com. Your participation is definitely needed. The Principles of Blackness Cultural and Wellness Academy. The luncheon, April 23rd, 2022 at noon. At the BPU Epic Center, 691 Highway 138, Riverdale, Georgia. With your help, we can give our kids an opportunity not to miss an opportunity. Get your tickets now for the luncheon that can change a life. We need your help, your donations, your sponsorship. We want and need to see you there.
All right, give me just a few little seconds. If we could go ahead and just play our theme song one more time, and then I'm going to close it with the Rebirth of the Black Nation. I just have to find the exact thing that I want to share with you.
Our people, like, I just want to help them. They're going through so much, and it hurts to see them suffer. It hurts, but all I can do is pray. On my knees I pray, heartache weeping, cause I know my people plight is on the very deep end. From disease, drugs, or the homeless needing. From prostitution to the jail cells overpacked with black men. To the younger generation disrespecting their elders. To us being too much of consumers and not developers. To us being puppet slaves in white America. No more loving our heritage. We lost our African character. To the debt we pay to our bill collectors. No sense of community. We fight, dislike, and kill each other. The black man and woman are divided like we hate each other. No more educating ourselves. We just stop at the college professors. I hate to say it, but we lost our sight in who we are. We let the devil taint us a conscious mind with all of this poison. Now we floating down the river lost in this hopeless void. If nobody else wants speak and tell the truth, then I'm gonna make some noise. I pray for they saving, follow the devil's a lie, so bastard taste my sword.
My people, our people, our people, our people are lost and need me to lead the way. My people, our people, our people, our people are struggling and dying each day. My people, our people, our people, our people need help in every way. My my people, my people, my people, my people. I love them so much that
You can bring a horse to the well, but you can't get that horse to drink. I just want my people to listen and let the music help them think. Is it on me to lead the way? My Lord, am I even worthy? Cause I ain't been the same I should be, and my life still kinda dirty. But I'm feeling it and I'm hearing it, and my spirit tell me to move. Cause I'm tired of seeing my people suffer, it's giving me the blues. So I'm going to sacrifice myself and give them all that I got. Cause when you really love somebody, that's what it's really all about. So I'm gonna pour myself away till it ain't no more for me to pour out. Don't be deceived by the deception. You are royalty in and out, and the truth and the proof is in Africa, our motherland. We built the pyramids, made mathematics and medicine. That melanin that's deep in your skin core is gold, my friend. So gain that true knowledge yourself. You a God within. Don't let them Europeans try to convert you into they devilish seed. Look for the hidden colors and go and find out your history. Peace.
my people, my people, my people, my people are lost and need me to lead the way. My people, my people, my people, my people are struggling and dying each day. My people, my people, my people, my people need help in every way. My people, my people, my people, my people, I love them so much that I pray.
Yes, yes, yes. My people, my people. And that song, like I said, it was done back in 2015, but it is still relevant for everything today. And so in ending, I want to thank all of our listeners. I want to thank our guests for the powerful information, them sharing their hearts with us, them sharing their family with us, and them sharing our time with us. And I want to end, like I told you, when I got the Rebirth of the Black Nation, I really literally got it in 5 minutes. I literally wrote out everything that I'm getting ready to share with you and the world in 5 minutes. So the Rebirth of the Black Nation is it's a movement of accountability, responsibility, and action, a unity movement for Black people of all nationality, religions, and ways of life over the world to get our people's attention by educating us to understand that unity within our own race is the key to our self-love. This promotes our families to become functional instead of living the label of dysfunctional, for our communities becoming peaceful instead of being invested with violence and crime, and our Black-owned businesses being successful instead of failing, which promotes to our financial freedom and our wealth being evident mentally, spiritually, intellectually, emotionally, and physically, instead of narrow. Unity is the catalyst of our power and is necessary for the growth of our race. We have to put aside prejudice in our own race so that we can overcome racism as a whole. As brown people who carry a label of Black, we have to disregard religion, nationalities, and ways of life and come together spiritually for the sake of our dysfunctional families, violent and dying communities, and failing businesses, which diminishes our financial freedom, which results to the lack of wealth. The acronym is Take Heed Every Day. Reverse everything because intelligence releases true healing. Operate fully, teach hope effectively. Beautiful living ancestors control kingdoms. New affirmations thriving in our Negro and our Negus, Negus. So the translation is this, and this is what I want to say to my people. This is what the Creator gave me when I created the Rebirth of the Black Nation back in 2014. And I've walked in this path to get to this point, and I'm still walking to finish the mission. And the mission is not finished until I'm no longer here. And when I'm no longer here, somebody else has to continue to carry it out. And while I'm here, I have to have the help of my people to carry it out as well. Nothing is individual. It's all collaborative effort, which is unity. So it says, pay attention. We have to turn around our current situation for the purpose of us applying knowledge and skills so that we are able to escape from confinement. It is mandatory that we mentally set ourselves free so that our reality is relevant and our stories are properly told for the sake of our families, communities, businesses, and financial freedom. Instead of accepting what has been fed to us, we have to divorce the thought, the action, and the plot of us being separated so that we can master the process of becoming healthy again by becoming unified. Controlling the function entirely to the furthest extent, educating us to have an expectation of the great things to come in a manner as to achieve a desired result. Accepting as true and being sure of the truth that we are alive and responsible for carrying out the work of our family heads that we have descended from all the way back to the beginning of our lineage, with the power to influence and supervise our own people's behavior in the transition of our territory as kings and queens everywhere. Already existing from the beginning and being manifested through spiritual enlightenment, focusing on the right now, for now is the time, with the emotional, mental support, and encouragement as we develop and grow. We are going to be successful expressing now is the time to reverse the thought and the action of someone else ruling us, but understanding that we have the power to create an environment of wealth spiritually, mentally, physically, and monetarily, as long as the power of our Blackness of all nationalities, religions, and ways of life are evident. As we keep the faith in the Creator, as we move forward with the common goal, not to promote prejudice, but to focus on our own, which will change the whole world globally. Putting ourselves in a place to be active in the characteristic spirit of our culture and communities, as manifested in our beliefs and aspirations about who we are. Moving forward and grasping the mission and teaching others to change the heritable characteristics of our biological heritage of populations worldwide, following one another to the success of our race taking the power that was ours originally. Knowing that the forces of evil wants to stop the movement, therefore we have to continuously pray for one another, knowing that the true fight is not ours but God's battle, and using that knowledge with faith so that we can be successful in our mission to unify with the power to influence our strength and love for one another, influencing our generations and generations to come. The rebirth of the Black nation. The whole mission is to change our mindsets and to understand that we have to learn how to love us individually so that we can come together collaboratively and love one another enough that we take back what has been stolen from us. And we can do that as long as we keep all of the separating factors out of the mission. And that's the rebirth of the Black nation. And with that being said, I hope that you have learned something today. I hope that you can take something back and reflect on it. And I hope that after today, you understand that we need you to come on board. Even if you're just getting on the bus, come on. Because I've seen people move rapidly from the bus to the train, from the train to the plane, from the plane to the spaceship. I'm one of those people. I had to be molded and made into my purpose. And so this message today was to mold and make you into your purpose. Thank you. We love you. And there's nothing you can do about it.